What's up, guys? This is the end of week 2. This is Sunday. This video is overdue. I got really caught up and I meant to have this be the second video in the series, so wish I had started it 2 weeks ago, but we're going to catch up now and get through with it. What I wanted to do for the sake of transparency is I'm going to show you the Apex accounts that I have and then the Top Step accounts I have as well. You've been watching me trade the newest accounts that I got with Take Profit Trader. Those I'm going to show on the live streams, but I wanted to show you guys the other accounts that are in the background. So as you can see here, I am funded and I have 20 PA Apexes and not doing so hot on the account drawdowns and the balances. I had a lot of success with these early in the year. This was a tough year because with me moving, graduating college, right when I had my best month and I was pretty much on the cusp of a really big payout, ended up taking a new job, and then I was trying to kind of balance both. I was getting pulled in two different directions and I made a series of mistakes that I shouldn't have, honestly, and now the balances are where they're at. So this year was actually crazy because I had clawed myself all the way out of that drawdown back to, I had 2,000 DD, and the guys that I trade with, John especially, knows that he was following me for that journey. I had pulled these accounts from pretty much being almost blown. I had like $600 left in DD, and I took them all the way back to 2,000 and then went right back here where we are now. So unfortunately, that's just the way it played out. And before I started trying to develop this new morning strategy for trading London, I just made some bad blunders on them because I was no longer sticking to, I had a regimented plan. My other strategy for trading 930 open was super refined. I'd refined that for 2 years and I was dialed with that. So when I took this job, I just couldn't give it the full attention I needed to. And that's what led me on this path of doing what I'm doing now. So I thought, how cool would it be as I'm developing this London strategy to document it? And that's what I'm going to do. So I wanted to show you guys these balances. And right now, even it was worse than this. This is at the end of 2 weeks of trading these so far. I was down to $700 or like $650 in these back Apex accounts, and then $200 or $300 less on these. I wonder if you can see the balance here. I can go to the accounts and show you guys that account balance history for this quarter. So yeah, you can see the lowest was 191 on those accounts, and then so that would be about $200 less. So yeah, about $700 DD and about $1,000 DD. So we're already starting the ascent out of that, where we're climbing out of the drawdown. And what I want to do for you guys in this 90-day series is the fact that I'm showing you how to build a new strategy. And I had two options when I took this new job: give up trading completely, and I have $1,500,000 funding sitting and I don't use it and I give up, or I go back to the drawing board and I'm going to redevelop an entire new strategy fit around my life to do this. And this all stemmed too, if you guys remember, when I started this tea time trading, it was, only work 2 hours a day, trade 2 hours a day, golf the rest of the time. And I was having good success with that. Even the 1 month in January on my live account, I made like 10 grand in a week. That was the coolest thing that I had felt like into the bank off that. And I was playing golf every day. I was golfing all the time. And when I graduated college, I kind of had this process where I had to decide, would you rather make good money, work like 2 hours a day, have the rest of your time to yourself, or would you rather restructure your life where you're working a regular job and trading, trying to pool both those incomes together to make as much money as you can while you're young? And for me, it kind of boiled down to the fact that I thought, to only trade 9:30 to noon, that's right in the middle of the day. It's killing all your opportunities outside of trading, like jobs. So I was honest with myself, and I thought, look, I just want to get rich young. that's my number one goal. I want to get as rich as I can, as young as I can. And if I can find a way to have both, I'm going to do it. That's what started this journey. So anyway, to bring that all back full circle, I'm going to develop this strategy, and it's still in testing. So a lot of you guys might like to hate on the videos, but it's only 2 weeks in. We're up 2.6 return, I think, so far in the past 2 weeks. So not great, but I'm still making mistakes. I'm still ironing out bugs. I'm still back testing. I'm still studying. I'm refining. And the whole point of this series is to show you what it takes to build a new system from scratch. I had to scrap what I was doing for the past 2 years. I'm in a completely different time frame. I used to trade New York Open. I'm trading London now, so that's a huge difference. And basically, I'm just going to show you what that process looks like for 90 days. But in the sake of transparency, I wanted to show you the 20 apexes here and their balances, so you can see we have where we're at right now. And let's see where we're at the end of 90 days. Can I make this work? Can I pull myself out of drawdown and just see that whole arc of doing it there? So those are those accounts. I'm going to show you also my Top Step as well. Gonna have to cut this out here so you guys don't see my login, but here's my 5 Top Steps, just so you know that I'm being transparent with those 550Ks, and I have about $1,000 of drawdown left on those, and there's the balances. So again, I made some mistakes, and I have to live with that, and I have to do my best to bring these back from the abyss as well. But what a story that's going to be when we do that. So as well as the 5 additional Take Profit Trader accounts that are, I think I'm in $200 profit so far. So $1,000 profit in 2 weeks. Again, not great, but we're going to refine and refine and refine and see where we can get with those. But a big thing that I think is cool, and I'm actually really for what I'm doing now, in the sense that I was very, I don't want to use the word bitter, but I was very torn when I graduated and I had this opportunity for the job come up, because it was a great opportunity, good people. Trading's lonely as well. You're on your own. People act like you're unemployed, like you don't have a real job. And not like I care what people think, but it is cool to be able to contribute to something, be part of something, go to the office, work for that and be social, have coworkers, etc., etc., etc. And on the flip side, I also realized most people can't take 9:30 to 12 out of their day to trade. Like, people have obligations, they have kids, they have school, they have work, that's just not realistic. And I was making it work while I was in college. I would schedule all my classes outside of the trading hours, and surprisingly that worked for 4 years. But now that I'm, outside of college and we're in the real world, I understand that maybe a lot of people want to trade, but how are you going to do that when you work a normal job? So it actually provides an incredible opportunity, I think, to do a London session strategy. And that's what I'm most excited about. So at the end of 90 days here, hopefully I have a strategy that I can be happy with. It's making me great income outside of my job, combine the two. And like I said, the number one goal is I want to work as hard as I can while I'm young, try and get as much money as I can while I'm young. And that's the goal. Who wants to be rich when they're 60? I know I don't. I want to have it all before I'm 30. So that's my goal of this, and we're going to make it happen. And I want to pose a final question at you guys. If you had the option where you could make $100,000 a year and work 2 hours a day, or you could make $1 million a year and you're working 10 hours a day, which would you pick? It's going to tell a lot about your personality and the grind, that work ethic you have. Because for me, I asked myself that question and I said, I'd rather work 10 hours a day for a year and make $1 million. So that's my goal. Stay tuned, and no edits, no cuts. I'm just going off the cuff here. I wanted to explain to you guys and be transparent. So those are where we're at right now. Those are my 25 accounts, 50K fundeds, as well as my 5. So I have 30 50K fundeds in total. And those are what we're going to trade for the next 90 days. London session.